Now, if Chinese writing is so important for the primary school education, then support writing. Support your child to learn Chinese writing. Now, the way to support is like this. For example, do you remember just now we have our Mother's Day and Father's Day in May, isn't it? Have you received any card like this? Any thank you card from your child? Draw his or her drawing, telling you that, oh, I love my mom, I love my dad, and I am very happy, things like that. Usually in our kindergartens, we encourage our students to write and draw freely to express himself or herself. Writing is for expression. Writing is for communication. Writing is not for practicing, but we practice to enable us to express. So when you encourage your child to do writing and drawing freely, write anything, draw anything they like to express himself or herself, and you love to read their drawing and writing, then the child will be interested in drawing and writing and going to write more, draw more. Now, because for young child, they draw and write together. They will do it complementarily to supplement to complementary to what they cannot express. So drawing and writing together will help them to express themselves. So we can prepare, have more available for the paper and the color pencils like that, to let them express themselves freely with drawing and writing. And then you can ask the child to tell you, oh, what have you drawn? What have you write? And you love listening to what they express. And then through this free writing and drawing, they are practicing. And then you can also tell your child that I love to see Chinese writing also, because you see all around us in Hong Kong, there are so many writings in Chinese. Chinese characters are very interesting. Oh, if we know how to write Chinese, we are so smart. We're smarter than the Chinese people, because Chinese people, Chinese is their first first language, but then Chinese to us is second language, and we can write this second language. We should be very proud of ourselves. Oh, we have to learn about this, and show them I can do it like that. So they are going to practice it. Now, for Chinese writing, now, this is a Chinese word, a Chinese character, as you understand. There are 8 kinds of basic strokes here. This is the basic, we call it basic strokes because we form our Chinese character with these 8 kinds of basic strokes. If your child know about these strokes, they can write in Chinese, because they are different combinations for these strokes to shape our character. The first kind is the dot. Very simple, isn't it? Dot. And then we have variations of dots. We have big dots, small dots, and we have right dots and left dots. For example, usually you will see characters with 4 dots. 3 left dots with 1 3 right dots with 1 left dot. So there are different kinds of dots, but they have to know that there are dots, and there are different kinds of dots. And then the second basic stroke is horizontal stroke, horizontal line. It's very important for these horizontal lines. There are also variations of horizontal lines. Short lines, long lines, middle lines like that. And the horizontal lines is the most frequent strokes we use. So it's the first line to learn is this horizontal stroke. For this horizontal stroke, horizontal is horizontal. It's not slanting. It's not sliding. They are strict. So important to learn strict lines. Strict is strict. You have to use strength to do it. You cannot do it in a curved way. You cannot do it in a circular way. They are different. They are strokes. They are strict strokes. They've learned to do that. So you can help your child to learn this. And then the third is the vertical stroke. Vertical. In this, together with this vertical is a hook. A hook is a semi-stroke. Hook is not independent. Usually they will be together, combined together with vertical hook. For this vertical hook, the hook is a very challenging stroke because it takes strength to do that. You need strength to do that. Vertical, and then with some strength, hook. So many child, they do it without strength, and it will become a curve. It will become curly, and that's wrong. That's not standard. So you have to ask your child to show your strength. So play with them. Play with them with the blocks. Play with them with drawings. Sometimes with little beans like that, with even needles and lines will help to have strength like that. And then we have this kind of right rising horizontal diagonal stroke. Now, this is also strict. So for Chinese writing, you can see all are in strict form. So not curly. It takes strength. This is very important. And also for this kind of rising, it's in about 45 degrees, isn't it? So this should be accurate. If you don't make it like this rising, then you will become the horizontal. Horizontal and rising is different. Another one, this is also diagonal. This is not rising, but now this is left falling. It's in falling. So the direction. Another thing is learn about the direction. For the horizontal, it's from left to right. For the vertical, it's from top to bottom. For this right rising, is again from right rising to left. And then for this left falling, this is different. This is left falling down to right. The one and only one curve is this one. So for this curve, it's not very curved, isn't it? It's not very circular or curly. It's just a little curve. We have a curved stroke in Chinese character. But it's not curly. It's not circular. So it's different. It also takes some strength. It's also about in 45 degrees, isn't it? And then this is the right falling diagonal stroke. So these are the 8 basic strokes. 8 basic strokes is not difficult at all. Only 8. Easy. But you have to know about this. You need to know about this knowledge. And then just now, earlier in the previous slides, I have said we have to support our children with knowledge. Now, this is the critical knowledge. When the child said, "Oh, Chinese characters it's very difficult to write," oh, then you say, Oh, yeah. The difficulty is there are only 8 kinds of basic stroke. Only 8. Is 8 kinds of basic stroke very difficult? So you have to challenge your child again. 8 basic stroke is not difficult, but the combination is difficult. But start from the easier, isn't it? Okay. So I have to hurry up. The reminder is learning Chinese is an essential learning skills. So for writing of handbook, the handbook is very important. Every primary school has a handbook for the child, and they have to copy these things in the handbook. Because writing in the Chinese to inform and plan. Handbook is for informing, a record, inform ourselves, the child, the student, himself or herself, and also to inform parents. And also we have to plan. The child also have to learn to plan for their homework, plan for their study, day by day. And then later on, they have to learn to plan about their career development, isn't it? And then the critical view is diary entry is interesting and meaningful. Don't, because the child, maybe he or she will cry and, oh, it's so difficult for me to copy the handbook. And then you are going to motivate your child. Oh, the handbook is interesting. Oh, so meaningful. I know about your primary life. I know about your primary class. I want to know about that. Tell me about what are they? What are you writing about? Oh, thank you for telling me. Thank her, thank him. And although maybe for the first day, for the first week, he or she cannot copy anything. No character can be recognized. But then you just recognize her or his efforts and say, oh, you try it. I appreciate your efforts. I appreciate what you tell me, like that.